The reputation of USP Alcatraz was promoted to the public through pop culture. Movies such as Birdman of Alcatraz, a 1962 film starring Burt Lancaster, and Escape from Alcatraz, a that may have given the public some misconceptions about the reality of life on the Rock. In the next video, I'm going to discuss some of the positive features of Alcatraz that inmates would have enjoyed. But for this video, I'm going to discuss the features of Alcatraz that would inspire Al Capone to say, "It looks like Alcatraz has got me licked." James Johnston, the first of four wardens that would oversee USP Alcatraz, set the tone early for inmate life on the island. Alcatraz was to be a no-frills penitentiary with inmates living a monotonous, rigorously enforced existence that was the very same for every inmate every single day. This monotony was designed specifically to break the soul of the inmates. Upon arrival, inmates were subjected to humiliating medical exams. Johnston considered these exams, in particularly the stripping of inmates, to be an important part of breaking down newly arrived inmates. In Johnston's own words, "I never saw a naked man yet who could maintain any sort of dignity." He also said, "There is very little egotism left in a man when you parade him before other men in a birthday suit." Another characteristic of Alcatraz was the lack of preferential treatment. Warden Johnston would be challenged early on with inmate AZ number 85, formerly known as Al Capone. The problem for notorious inmates at Alcatraz is that they were sharing a prison with other notorious prisoners. While the prison set out to treat them like they weren't special by creating a supermax facility that housed a who's who of prisoners, they created a reality in which they weren't special. This concept is illustrated by an exchange a young boy had with a guard on the train bringing Al Capone to Alcatraz from Atlanta. The boy asked the guard if it was true that there were men on the train that were as bad as Al Capone, to which the guard said, "Listen, there's no Capone or anybody by any name on that train. They may have been Capones once, but they're just numbers now." Treating number 85 just like number 84 and number 86 was the challenge, and Warden Johnston was determined to operate his prison that way. The no-frills life at Alcatraz is best illustrated by Regulation number 5 of the Institution Rules and Regulations. Regulation number 5 states, "You are entitled to food, clothing, shelter, and medical attention. Anything else you get is a privilege." The last thing I want to point out about the negative aspects of life on Alcatraz Island is the unique location in respect to the mainland. As you can see in this picture, San Francisco is really close to the island. The isolation that many inmates felt naturally by being incarcerated would have been continuously emphasized by being so close to civilization without being able to reach it. There are even reports of inmates being able to hear the sounds of nightlife from San Francisco coming across the water and being able to listen to what's happening on the mainland at night in their cells. This view would have been an awful reminder of how far they really were from freedom, from society. In the next video, I'll talk a little bit about the positive features of Alcatraz that would have inmates in other prisons actively requesting transfer. But to end this video, I'll leave you with one final quote to sum up how painful life on Alcatraz could be for inmates. Frank Weatherman, the last prisoner to leave the island, said, "Alcatraz was never no good for nobody."